Part 4, Beyond Perception. Chapter 12, Dissolution of Boundaries. Cold snapped him from fitful sleep. Stone beneath, sky above. No dreams came, or perhaps waking itself was dream, consciousness merely temporary eddy in being's flow. Spinoza's truth resonated. Parts of nature communicate with one another. Connection inevitable, separation illusion. Stiff fingers, packed gear. Valley remained shadow-filled while peak caught dawn's first gold. Memory of parents separated at two surfaced. Early fracture teaching false boundaries, suggesting separateness where none truly existed. Childhood split like frost-cracked stone. Descent continued. Each footfall carried summit insight downward, where dualities reasserted themselves. Knowledge persisted not as concept but perception, self and other, mind and matter, subject and object, convenient fictions, necessary for navigation, ultimately illusory, like childhood's broken home, creating phantom walls between what remained unbreakably connected. Morning air, bit lungs, breath visible, then gone. Temporary form yielding to formlessness. Gear-weighed shoulders, each item a tether to conventional existence. Pack straps, pressed reminders of separateness against flesh that knew better. Weight paradoxically lightened with each downward step, understanding replacing burden. Jesus had expressed this. Whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters, you did for me. Not metaphor, metaphysics, fundamental unity of consciousness across apparent separation. His healing miracles demonstrated the same principle. Consciousness affecting matter across presumed boundaries. Service to others, revealing illusion of otherness. Path narrowed through scree-field. Loose stones shifted, accommodating passage, then filling absence. No permanent trace remained. Rock inscribed itself on muscles. Air circulated in blood. Patterns imprinted on mind. Physical distance grew between man and mountain while ontological distance collapsed. Shadows shortened. Sun climbed higher. Grief surfaced. Brother's absence reconceived. Not severance, but transformation of presence. Physical to memorial. Direct to mediated. Yet no less real for this change of modality. Grief itself revealed as love's continued presence, seeking new expression, refusing false boundary of death. Parent separation at 2, another grief, another boundary, falsely drawn across continuous being. Buber's distinction illuminated, mountain never object to conquer, but presence to encounter. It relationships yielding to thou communion, revealing profound truth beneath apparent division. Cold memory of childhood's fracture at 2, artificial separation imposed upon unbreakable connection. Descent brought desert edge into view. Vegetation thickened. Life finding endless forms within apparent separateness. Birds called warnings of approach. Flight paths inscribed temporary geometries against blue canvas. Christ's words echoed, "Lo, I am with you always." Consciousness persisting beyond dissolution of form. Trail widened. First signs of human presence appeared. Cut logs, stone cairn. Civilization sensed before seen, a distant pulse through forest silence. Boundaries reasserting themselves with each downward step, yet knowledge remained. Having seen through division's illusion, impossible to fully believe it again. Morning cold yielded to day's warmth. Gear shifted against back, reminding of return to a world of apparent separation. Yet mountain's communion persisted. Stone's language translated into muscle memory. Sky's expanse folded into consciousness. Parent separation at 2, childhood's first lesson in false boundaries, recontextualized within larger understanding. All divisions temporary, all separations illusory. Path curved through pine shadow. Descent continued. Perspective shifted with each step down, peak receding, valley expanding. Both movement and stillness simultaneously true. Like child at 2, witnessing separation, yet remaining whole within divided world. Spinoza's insight pulsed. Parts communicate despite apparent separation. Jesus' teaching resonated. Service to least is service to all. Mountain's lesson crystallized. Boundaries dissolve when directly perceived. Brother's absence transformed. Death as permeable membrane rather than absolute barrier. Desert open to first clearing. Distant sounds of water over stone. Civilization approached. World of named things and counted hours, of apparent separations and convenient boundaries. Knowledge of unity would be harder to maintain there, yet impossible to completely forget. Gear rattled with quickened descent. Body moved through space that was never truly other, crossing boundaries that existed only in thought. 2-year-old's perception of parental separation, earliest template of a false division, now recognized within greater pattern of illusory boundaries. Trail widened further. Human voices carried through trees. Descent continued into a world of apparent separation, carrying insight that no separation is absolute. Cold morning yielded to warm afternoon. Stone gave way to soil. Path emerged from wilderness into clearing. And all the while, boundaries continued their slow, inevitable dissolution.